Well, recording this at not a midnight time on Monday, July the 8th, 2013 at 8:26 a.m. My continuation of my reading of my little Dashie. What are you doing here in my world? I didn't mean to ask that out loud, but it just sort of happens every now and again. Only seeing my few friends once in a great while. I found myself talking to, myself a lot. I don't own a pet, because that just means more money to dish out, and I'm already struggling as it is. From my question, the only response is another blank look on her face. That she tells me she has no clue either. Then again, what else should I expect from a filly that can't even talk yet? Are you lost? The moment the words left my mouth, her ears fall and she looks to the ground. Oh. The realization strikes that she has no clue what's going on, where she is, who I am, or anything else. She's beyond the word lost. She's misplaced. Well, until something happens, I guess you can stay with me. I see how she lifts her head up, ears starting to erect once again, and looks at me with worry. My words don't sound that encouraging, so I throw on a smile as I speak. Don't worry. I'm sure whatever brought you here will fix itself within time. We just gotta wait. Is that alright? I'm not sure why I asked that, but it seems to do the trick. Her ears perk up, and she smiles. The next few hours are spent giving her the grand tour of my house. Nothing amazing to see, and I avoid taking her into my bedroom out of fear that the large amount of dirty clothes would swallow her up. Or clothes. Afterwards, I gave her something to eat. I break up some small carrots, and amazingly I discover she has some teeth. Since she's still a filly, I wasn't sure if she could eat solid food such as carrots yet. Then again, she is from a cartoon, so I don't know what is correct for her anyway. Satisfied with the food, she finds a comfy spot in my father's recliner and sits. I don't mind. It's not like I sit in it. I was never allowed to when he was alive, so why should that change even after his passing? It's his chair, but I'm not going to be mean to the filly for not knowing that. So I let her sit where she's comfortable. Where she's most comfortable. I also gave her a small blanket to wrap herself in. Due to my house current temperature, it's not as cold as it is outside, but my furnace has had problems since before my parents' passing. There was a trick to fixing it, but that died along with my father. I must have fallen asleep at some point. I honestly expected myself to be wide awake due to such an interesting event, but after the long hours at work and staying up to take care of Dash, my body had other plans. I'm not sure how long it was before I awoke, but it doesn't matter. As I close my eyes, I feel something against my side. I look, and sleeping beside me is a small cyan filly, her rainbow mane and tail still, her head resting on the inside of my elbow. I know the meme gets old, but I must say it, my heart exploded again. Lying there sleeping and curled up beside me, had me smiling ear to ear. Her gentle breaths are barely heard. The hairs on her mane tickle my arm, but I hold back any movement to itch. The warmth of her body against my stomach warms my already weak heart. Though a few months isn't a long time, it's how long I've wanted a moment like this. My own little pony. A Rainbow Dash plushie to sleep with and hold tight. And now I have a real Rainbow Dash. A filly sleeping at my side. Content as though she's known me since birth. Right now, there is nothing else that matters to me. My despair, my sore feet and painful heart all go unnoticed, as nothing else can come remotely close to the feeling I have right now. This joy I'm experiencing at this moment as I lay awake on my couch. She's here. She is real. Right now, she is my little pony. She is my little Dashie. I've teared up already. It has only been 4 months since I brought the young Rainbow Dash into my home. I've done what little research I could on the matter, but I have come to no conclusions. I have no idea why she's here, and quite frankly, I don't even care anymore. These few months with her have been the most amazing time of my life. She's opened my heart up to love and joy, among other things. Right now, she sits next to me on the couch as I watch television. She seems to enjoy the morning cartoons on the local stations, and I myself have come to enjoy them. She acts much like a young child would. Then again, why wouldn't she? Another amazing feat is that she's been learning to talk. I'm not much of a teacher, or for that matter, a parent, but I'm doing my best to help her learn to speak and read. I don't know how or even where to begin to attempt in teaching her to write. From the show, they did it with their mouths, but I will let that go for now. Once she's a little older, if I even have her for that long, I will do what I can to teach her. It used to be that a year would go by slowly. I would look forward to the new year in hopes of getting a fresh start. Now, though, I feel as if this year went by a little too quickly for me. I've decided, since I have no knowledge of her actual birthday, to make the day I found her birthday, September the 17th. Oddly enough, that is the very same date the second season of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic aired last year. I quit watching the show after Dashie came into my life. There was no reason for me to continue, and honestly, I don't have much time to myself anymore. It would be hard to hide me watching the show, and even harder to explain the situation if she were ever to see it, especially at her current age. She knew her name was Rainbow Dash, but if I have come to calling her Pinky's pet name of Dashie, and she had no problems with it. She can fully communicate with me now, as well as read English, and she's even starting to learn how to write with, you guessed it, her mouth. I tried to invent some devices for her hoof so she could write, but it seems writing with her mouth is more natural than moving her hoof around. One thing now troubles me with her. Every day she sits at a window looking outside. I'm not worried about her being seen by passerbys. I'm on a dead-end street, so that's the least of my worries. Still, though she doesn't say anything to me yet, I can see the hunger for fresh air in her eyes. I can't keep her in here for her entire life. Ha! I keep talking like she's going to be here forever. That isn't true. One day, someday, she will return home, whether it be a simple poof and she's gone, or through some magical spell and Twilight shows up and takes her home to fix everything. In my heart, I know that I hope that never happens. In my head, I know it will. It's just a matter of when. I do hope to get her outside soon. I've been checking out some of the abandoned lots and former parks on my walks to and from work, seeing where the best location would be for her to take her. Oddly enough, it seems the park I had played at growing up is the best option. That shall be it then. I shall take her to the park. How will I get there? Or how will I get her there? She's still relatively small, so she can be hidden inside a jacket or something. Tomorrow is supposed to be a nice day anyway. She did it. After 2 years in my care, and having absolutely no knowledge of flight myself, I helped her learn to fly. She's gotten quite big in only a couple years, and it was getting hard to hide her when we walked in the park. I got so desperate to keep her hidden, I bought a dog costume for her to put on. She could walk around there unnoticed. She was not happy, so I got some books from the library to read up on teaching birds to fly. I would have looked on the internet, but I fear she would have become curious of it herself. There are a lot of horrors on the internet, and she's not ready for it. In hindsight, it's bad enough she's experiencing television, but she has come to enjoy SpongeBob and NASCAR too much for me to take that away from her. Back to the flying. I've been taking her to that old park for weeks in hopes I could help her learn how to fly. There's a large tree there, with branches sticking out over a sandbox. The perfect spot for her to practice. If she falls, I can't catch her. And I can't catch her. At least she'll have something remotely soft to land on. She fell a lot. I knew she would fall a lot. There were many scrapes, cuts, and bruises toward her goal, but finally, after many weeks of work, she flew. It was only a short distance, about 50 feet, but she still did it. She's a little scraped up, but she's beaming with pride. Maybe now she could fly overhead, so that the few people on the ground don't notice her. I'll have to see if she can manipulate clouds like she can in the show. That would make it so much easier to take her places. Then she can hide in a cloud as we go to the park. Another thing that has been brought to my attention. She asked me about having her own room. I got thinking and realized the house does have a spare bedroom, though my parents had filled it with my old school stuff from my younger years, as well as several of my old toys. She might enjoy them, though she's getting older, and I'm not sure how entertaining they will be for her. If she has her own room, I can get her her own things, so that she can feel somewhat normal. She's pretty smart for a filly, and knows about the difference between our species. But she still knows nothing about her origin. She's not ready yet. The only thing I can do is keep her happy. I only wish I had a way to buy her things she wants. And that shall be it for now.